Hi everyone, it's my birthday today. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who sent me birthday wishes, that you would take even just a couple of seconds to type happy birthday or whatever. I think that's awesome. It really made me feel special, so thank you very much for that. I've been really thinking about how old I'm getting and being really introspective about like, what do I want to do in the next year or so to work towards some of my long-term goals. I thought that I would use this time to talk about some of those. I have a goal of actually reading one book per month just for myself, because right now I'm studying for my field exams, which means I'm pretty much reading books that are related to my field of study. Right now, I'm actually reading Jay Asher's 13 Reasons Why. So far I really like it. I don't know if I'll recommend it yet. I haven't finished it, so I feel like, you know, it could be a total dud ending. I don't know yet, so we'll see. The other thing that I'd like to do is get better at making sure I actually do my vlogs on time, because I suck at that, obviously. But the other thing that I'd like to do is at least once a month when I do my vlogs, I'd like to recommend a book to you, because reading, like I say, is a really big deal for me. I love it. So this month I'm actually going to recommend a book. It actually is nonfiction, which will probably be a rare thing for me to recommend to you, because I tend to like fiction books a lot more. But this time I'm actually going to be recommending Dr. Sanyu Majola's Love, Money, and HIV. I actually had the pleasure of having lunch with her this past week and really chatting with her about this work. And then I also attended a talk that she did about this work. It was like a packed house. It was crazy. Like, it was like standing room only. I think deservedly so. She really went really in depth with this study, and it's basically about the HIV and AIDS epidemic in Africa, specifically Kenya, kind of how there are these ecological and economic and cultural factors that all come into play to sort of aid this spread of HIV that's devastating Africa. She kind of takes this idea of love and money and talks about how they've become sort of intermixed due to westernization and this idea of consumption that has become so prevalent. It's a super easy read. Even though it's an academic who wrote this, it's very accessible. It was really gripping. I really thought her arguments were very well laid out and make a lot of sense. It's really great. I just can't say enough good things. It was a really great experience meeting her and being able to read her book. Another thing that I've always done, and I think I've probably mentioned it on this blog before, is that I write a lot. I've started so many novels in my day, but have yet to finish any of them. By my birthday next year, my goal is to have completed rough drafts of at least one of the many novels that I've started writing. It will probably be terrible, in need of much editing, but I think to at least have that done would be a major thing for me. Encourage me down below, and often ask me on my vlog if I'm keeping up with my goals. Keep me accountable. Another thing that I would like is to finish a song. I actually write songs. I am not particularly good at it necessarily, but I sing, and although I'm not a great instrumentalist, I do try and write my own music, and I have a few things that I'm actually really proud of, at least where I'm at with them at the moment, but they're really rough. I need to like re-record some vocals, and I need to master the song so it like sounds okay, which is a process that I'm not really familiar with, but I'm gonna try. I would like to have at least 1 or 2 songs out in the world by the next year. Although I think that's probably going to be one of the most nerve-wracking things that I have done in a really long time. I'm just very self-conscious about my voice. I've been told like I have a very beautiful voice and I'm very good at singing, but there's still just a part of me that has like a lot of anxiety about performing in front of people. I get really nervous, and even just the thought of someone hearing my own personal music and them being able to sort of cast judgment upon that is really anxiety-inducing for me. But at the same time, it's something that I really want to do and really want to put out into the world. So again, encourage me to do that, because it's really something I'm very nervous about. And speaking of anxiety, that's another thing that I would like to work on this year. Even though I tend not to admit this to people, I do actually have a lot of social anxiety, and I have not been dealing with it particularly well, I don't think, over the last couple of years, to be completely honest. I'm extremely introverted. I tend to sort of hide behind that as like the main reason that I don't go out or I don't do things with people. I'm like, oh, you know, I'm an introvert and I need to just take time to myself, which is true. you, I am extremely introverted, but the reality is a lot of the time just thinking about being out around people and in crowds makes me incredibly anxious. I think the social anxiety in particular is probably something that I have not been so good at handling on my own, and it's probably something that needs to be addressed. These are my goals for this year. Hopefully I can make it through them. Some of them I think are going to be a lot more difficult for me than others, but I really would like you all to work with me and encourage me and, you know, ask me how I'm doing on my goals. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. If you want to subscribe, I think that would be an okay thing too. There's a red button down below where you can do that. Yeah, until next time. I won't say next week because clearly I am really bad at that. But until next time, which will hopefully be next week or 2 weeks. But definitely at least once for next month. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week, 2 weeks, a month, until I see you again.